Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. You're welcome to my channel. I still remain Wisdom Akbar. So you want to travel to UK, you want to travel to Saudi Arabia, you want to travel to US, you want to travel to Canada, you want to travel to Enugu, you want to travel to Lagos, you want to travel to here, you want to travel to there. There are 5 questions you need to answer. And if you haven't answered these questions, my dear, sit down, let's talk. What are these 5 questions? One, the culture of those people. Two, the housing. Three, the security aspect. Four, the language. And then finally, the standard of living. My dear, if these 5 areas you have not looked into them, ha ha ha, rethink. Please, it needs a rethink. First of all, in the aspect of culture, do you know that there are places if a male happens to touch a female, your hand has gone down, like you are gone in for it. And there are places if you mention the name of Christ, you mention the name of Jesus, you are gone down for it too. So my dear, please try to know the culture, the tradition of those places. Because there are even environments where you're not even supposed to cross certain boundaries. Please, very, very, very important. Know about the culture and tradition of that place you want to migrate to. Secondly, you need to ask questions about the housing. And these questions about housing covers 3 major areas. Please, as much as possible, look into amongst others these 3 major areas that centers around the housing question. One, the affordability. Two, the nearness to the place of work or the place of worship or the place where you either be schooling or your children will be schooling. Please, very important. Find out about that place. Is it a place you can afford or a place you have to share the bill with someone to be able to meet up with accommodation? Find out. Very important. Is it a place that is very far from the home? And if it is far from the house, I'm not discouraging you. Also find out the place of work. Do they have space where you can reside? Maybe on your off days, you can actually return back to the house or wherever you find to lay your head. Very important. Find out this very aspect if it's actually checked. Because if it is not in check, my dear, there is an issue. And the next one, which is the third aspect you need to ask yourself, is the language. Language play a major role. You can't tell me you're from an English speaking region and then you're migrating to a francophone area or you're migrating to an environment where they speak Portuguese or they speak Spanish. My dear, you're already in trouble. Trust me, you're already in trouble. So find out the language aspect because language barrier is a very important aspect one must consider before making decision to move to any area you intend to move. The next boils down to standard of living. Remember I talked about housing, right? So this aspect of standard of living boils down to if you're to work, how much is your salary? Not just how much is your salary, how much is your take home? Please, because there are places where you will still be paying tax. So find out how much is your take home. Compare it to expenses in terms of feeding and other aspects. Compare it to the accommodation that you'll be securing. Is it worth the stress? Please, very important. Find out their standard of living. So you can't be earning, for instance, let me use the naira. You can't be earning 40,000 naira and then you want to stay in an environment where the housing is up to about 150 to 200,000 naira. My dear, you will struggle, oh, trust me. Another instance is Lagos and Abuja in terms of those persons who reside within Nigeria. So you can be moving from places like Cross River State, or you move from places like Port Harcourt, or you move from places like Anambra, and then you want to compare the standard of living to be the same with Lagos and Abuja, and then you just carry your bag because there is work opportunity. You hurry up, go, I've gotten work, and then you resume. My dear, you'll be disappointed when your first salary comes and then you now hear how much accommodation costs. It will be a very big issue. And for some persons, you might even be stranded as at that point. So if you don't want to become a slave in this very modern age, please, please and please find out about the standard of living. It is very important. And the next, which is very important, is the aspect of security. Please and please, life before wealth. Someone say, if you are not alive, how do you want to enjoy the wealth? Very important. Find out, is the place safe? Is it safe enough for you to reside? Is it safe enough for you to move into? Is it safe enough for you to grow? Is it safe enough to promote your well-being? If it is not safe, please have a rethink. It's very important. Okay, I haven't heard these 5 important aspects. Please, just in case you have other aspects we need to consider also, do type them in the comment box. Let's know or what your opinions are. Please, you might be helping someone out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. See you on my next post. God bless you.